In today's episode of Biz Jet TV, we're going to be talking about the climate activists that attacked the EBACE convention in Geneva, which is the business jet convention that's been held this week. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Bombardier Echojet. We'll talk about advanced air mobility and where the market's going with private jets at the moment after the recent Bloomberg report. So, if you haven't subscribed to Biz Jet TV, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel all about private aviation. And if you haven't got yourself a copy of The Quantum Economy, my new book, just came out a few months ago. You can click on the link below. This is about the economy of the future, and it predicts a few things which are actually happening right now. So get yourself a copy. You can click on the link below. My name is Fabrizio Poli. I'm your aviation advisor. Let's get into the meat of today's episode, and we start with the news about these 100 climate activists that raided the airport in Geneva, where at the PAL Expo, which is right there at the airport, and they managed to knock the fence down, get onto the apron where the aircraft were parked, and handcuff themselves to the airplanes. They were quite violent in what they did. A few airplanes had to be diverted. It wasn't nice the way they went about it, and I don't think that's the way to go about it. These environmentalists that are attacking, private aviation, I think it's a bit ridiculous. I mean, I had the Green Party activists knock on my door a few months ago because there was an election here in the UK. They've been putting lots of leaflets through the door, the only party putting leaflets through the door. I even drove past the house of one of the Green Party candidates, and he had, pieces of paper saying "Vote Green Party" on the window of his living room. And so I'm thinking to myself, you're the Green Party and you are actually sending out leaflets when other people aren't. If you're so green, you shouldn't be using paper. You should be using social media, and you should maybe put a screen to project, vote for the Green Party in your living room, project out the house instead of paper. But anyway, these people make me laugh. They don't really know about the technology. They don't really know about what really is happening in the environment. You should really look into it and do your research. But the industry is moving towards more carbon friendly technology, because of course we have to look after our planet, and this is where the Bombardier Echojet comes into it. There's talk about the Bombardier Echojet at EBACE, saying that it will reduce carbon emissions by 50%, and the goal is to get to 100% reduction of carbon emissions by 2050. Now, it's an interesting design. The Ecojet is being developed, and this will be coming on the market in a few years. It's interesting to see Bombardier at the forefront of this, and there's other companies out there looking at doing this. There's talks about of course the electric aircraft. There's talks about hydrogen powered aircraft. There's talks about atomic powered aircraft, and that did happen in the past. Some people say atomic energy on an airplane is dangerous in case it crashes, but it could be a way to go. NASA also developing a rocket that flies in space, powered by atomic energy, saying that it will take 45 days to get to Mars instead of 6 months, and this would be a great breakthrough for space travel. So that's what's been happening on that front. And then advanced air mobility has been taking also an important part of the stage there at EBACE this year, with looking to 90% of the eVTOLs, the electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, will replace helicopters. So the helicopters are going to be out, and the eVTOLs are going to be replacing them. Of course, they don't consume fuel, they burn electricity. Aerodynamic company from Lugano, Switzerland, just ordered some Lilium jets. That's interesting what they're going to be doing. This company have been operating Pilatus PC-12s for 20 years. They intend to fly the Lilium jet from Lugano Airport to Lake Como and Milan. So it's going to be good. It's going to increase traffic at Lugano Airport, being able to take the tourists to Lake Como directly and land right in front of the lake, or downtown Milan, to do business. And this is where air mobility are going to come into it. They're going to replace helicopters. They're going to be used a lot for cargo and for transporting people. So this is going to change a lot of the way people do business, which is good, and it's environmental friendly, assuming that these batteries that are manufactured to power these vehicles are built in a friendly environmental way. And that's a bit of my question mark on that right now, on some of the stories that I'm hearing on how these batteries are built, and how the stuff that's mined to build these batteries. So we have to see how that can be done in not only a friendly way for the environment, but also for people. Some of the people that are used to manufacture these batteries, to work in the mines, and that there's a lot of controversy around that. So let's get the conversation going on these subjects here in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to Biz Jet TV. And then the last thing is Bloomberg have been talking about the decrease in private jet travel over the last few months, saying, is this part of the inflation going up, the recession that we're in right now? Are the millionaires and billionaires feeling that pain, and is that why private jet travel is down? But I actually said in my book, The Quantum Economy, I did talk about the fact that COVID is going to have an effect on business travel across the board. What do I mean by this? I mean that business travel is down. Why is business travel down? Simply because it's nothing to do with the economy. It's more to do with COVID and COVID lockdowns. And what this did is it accelerated technology, video conferencing, AI, which was already in the making. It's just made it happen a lot quicker. So before you make the business trip from London to Tokyo, the question people are asking themselves now is, can this still be done over a Zoom call, over video conferencing? Because if it can, then I'm not going to spend 3 or 4 days of my time launching myself halfway across the world for this meeting. We can hash this out in a few hours on Zoom. So this is why business travel is down. The airlines will report this as well. Business class flights are down. People traveling for business, when they're asked, why are you traveling for leisure or business? These flights are down. But a lot of business travel has migrated over from airlines over to private jets. And I've said this before also in previous videos. We're also seeing a surge of entrepreneurs learning to fly and buying their own airplane and flying themselves around, in particular the United States. So this is why business jet travel is down, because even the business jet owner is not flying as much as they used to, because they're asking themselves the question, can this still be done via video conferencing call instead of launching out in my jet halfway around the world? Because at the end of the day, the reason people use private jets, they're not chartering a jet, they're not buying a jet, they're in reality buying time. And so if you can save time by basically doing a video conference instead of launching out on your jet halfway around the world, why not? And it's also reducing your carbon footprint, so that's a good thing. But there are times when you do need to get on an airplane and travel halfway around the world, shake someone's hands, sit round a table. It is a lot better than a face-to-face meeting. But I think COVID has taught a lot of people that things can be done remotely. Even with pre-buy inspections, we were doing them during COVID remotely with somebody with a camera, looking at the different things in the aircraft, guided by the engineer remotely. This can be done, and with the introduction of AI, a lot of these things are going to be simplified. So that's overall what's happening. But I do think the private jet market is going to increase as the number of ultra high net worth individuals and high net worth individuals is increasing, and will increase over the next 5 to 10 years. These people do not want to travel with the airlines. They will want to have their own private jet and or charter one or lease one. This is what they're looking at. And if you are an entrepreneur and you're watching this to sort of find out more about this industry and what's been happening lately, I encourage you to get yourself a copy of The Quantum Economy. You can click on the link below, and also check out this other video I did recently about the 10 things you need to know before you buy your private jet. And also remember, you can also reach out to me, ping me an email, we can get on a one-to-one call and talk specifically about your travel needs and see what we can do for you in helping you to either charter, lease or buy a private jet. That's all from Fabrizio Poli here on Biz Jet TV. Remember to subscribe, like, comment below, and I'll see you on the next one.